Oh boy, if you have not been stuck behind a freight train recently in Houston, consider yourself lucky. This is happening more often, and you don't have to look too hard to find people on Houston's east side who are just tired of getting stuck. Our investigative team found frustration and fear in the search for solutions to Houston's stalled trains.
Every day. Stay here for a long time.
For some East End neighborhoods, this has become a way too unwelcome soundtrack.
Well, how often does this happen, Lorenzo?
Just about every day.
The bells start, traffic stops, this driver sleeps, this guy climbs over, this one too, another right under, all of it without a thought to the potentially deadly consequences. The wait just becomes too long.
54 minutes now that this has been stopped here.
Isn't that illegal?
Not at all. The city can't fight it, the state can't either. The feds rule the rail lines, and there's no law that can force a train to start moving.
Usually be hours.
For Jose Carpio, it wasn't just an inconvenience.
It was on a Sunday afternoon.
June 23rd, Carpio was under his Ford Mustang changing out a part.
Last thing I remember was the car fell on top of me.
Carpio was pinned just above his waist. 911 was on the way, but when the ambulance got close enough for his family to hear it, the EMS crew was trapped on the other side of a stopped train. Carpio says his neighbors gave him CPR while the ambulance went around. He says he woke up in the hospital the next day.
Pretty angry, because they never really seemed to move. I really don't want it to happen to anybody else.
If Union Pacific, the rail line in charge here, keeps stats on how often their trains block Houston streets, they won't share them with us. The city of Houston doesn't track that, at least not yet. The only stats we can find are from TxDOT, which tracks blocked street complaints, and the stats confirm what neighbors suspect. Since the fall of 2018, it's been getting worse. This year, much worse. Some complaints show blockages 4 days a week, or multiple streets blocked. One even shows a 6-hour delay.
Union Pacific said the fact that more streets are blocked is a sign our economy is growing. They said that even though there are homes nearby that Lawndale crossing, they called it an industrial area. They tell us they are working to reduce the number of block crossings, but not interested in an on-camera interview to explain to you how they'll do it.
Within the past year or a little over a year, it's just gotten worse.
Bad enough for Councilman Robert Gallegos to insist on a meeting with the rail line in the hope of forcing them to be a better neighbor.
They did send us a letter. They targeted certain issues that they say they're going to work on. The railroads need to respect the communities they operate in.
The neighbors in the East End are tired of waiting.
The day we were there, by the way, that train was stopped for an hour and 34 minutes. Union Pacific wouldn't share stats with us on how often their trains block Houston streets and wouldn't give them to Councilman Gallegos either, so he's asked the city to start collecting them on its own. By the way, the rail company did tell Councilman Gallegos they will work with dispatchers to make sure there's a place for trains to go when they leave one yard headed to another. Ted Oberg, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.